Hi guys, welcome back. I'm finally making another video. I am making technically Emily's first video other than her birth announcement. I am making her birth story video. It is a little later. I have kind of wrote down what I remember from it because it's been a few months, but it's just been so hectic. We had just moved in just before I had her, and then we've also had Christmas and homeschooling, everything like that as well, with having another lockdown. But never mind, I am finally getting around to making it, so I will remember what I can, and I'm sorry if I miss anything. So, of course, she was born on the 29th of October at 12:03. It's so hard to remember all of these. We had to go on the morning. I had my pre-op like I think 2 days before, the day before. No, it was the day before where they went over everything and I signed some forms. Then I went in on the morning. Lee was allowed to come, which I was really worried he wouldn't be allowed to come with me. He was allowed to come at 6:30 with me on the morning. We got took to like a room on your own where you sit and wait. So we were sitting in there waiting. I got checked over, so they did my blood pressure, my pulse, my temperature. They checked on Emily and everything like that just to make sure she was okay, I was okay, and well enough for surgery really, because I obviously had a elective C-section. So we were waiting for quite a while. They got everything kind of prepped in early pretty fast. They had me signing the consent forms. I was meeting the doctors. I was in the gown. Lee's stuff was brought in so he could get ready and everything before we were going. But there was 3 of us in for the C-section. Luckily no emergencies come up, but I was 3rd on the list, which I wasn't happy about because I had my C-section booked from like April and I had it in the end of October, so I had it booked for a long time, but I think someone had diabetes so they had to go first, which is understandable. So I had to take a tablet for help with sickness and to reduce my stomach acid, and like I said, I got my gown, I had to get ready, and then I met the doctor and signed some consent forms and just kind of went over it all, which I obviously knew it. I had Brody in 2018, so only 2 years before. So we did all of that. And then the midwife kept coming just to check how I was, seeing if Lee wanted a cup of tea or a biscuit or anything. I couldn't obviously have anything, so I was so hungry. Lee didn't want anything anyway, just had a bit of water. I then got took down, I think around 11 o'clock. I'm sorry if I'm so like spacey. I'm tired, I'm homeschooling, so I was so distracted, and then I'm trying to think back as well. So I got took, I think maybe about 11, half 11, I got took down, and I was put in like it was like a big room, but it was all a bit like a ward. So you had like the curtains round, but there was just a chair, so you just went and sat on the chair like you and the midwife, and you just sat there and waited. Lee wasn't allowed to come in because obviously with COVID and everything like that, it all has to be very, you're not interacting with anyone. So Lee was took and had to sit outside theatre, and then I got took into this, like I said, it was a little bit like a ward, but there was no beds, it was just chairs. That was like the current temporary recovery room. So I was took in there and I had to wait until the theatre was all ready for me, and then I went into the side room of the theatre and got the, what's it called? I don't know what it's called, you know, like the injection in with your hands so they can give you the fluids and all that. So I got that put in, and then I was took into the theatre where they did the spinal block. They had to do it twice because the first time it didn't go in properly, so obviously it didn't work. So they did it the second time, so it was a while. It was freezing cold, I'm all hunched over. It was just, it wasn't fun. I think you're getting it twice over, it's horrible once, never mind twice. And they had to keep giving me lots of numbing as well, because I don't know if that didn't work the first time. I don't know. So I got that. I actually recognised a couple of the people doing like in the room, because I think I had the same one as I did when I had Brody, so that was kind of nice to reassuring. So then I was late on the bed. Lee was allowed in, my arm was out with the blood pressure pad on. I obviously had all of the lines in, giving me the fluids and the antibiotics and everything like that. And like I said, they'll check my blood pressure, checking my pulse, and then they just put up the screen and started that. And then, like I did with Brody, my blood pressure and pulse dropped. This time it dropped really bad. It dropped a lot worse than it did with Brody, and they had to give me some medication in the line to get it back up, and then because I felt really sick and really dizzy and I felt like I was basically going to pass out, so they managed to bring it back up, which thank goodness, and then I started feeling better again. And then there was nothing else really with Brody. It was quite dramatic, but with Emily, that was it. The next thing we know, we can hear her crying. She was perfectly healthy, brought her to Lee, and she was just crying and crying and crying. She was so loud, all we could hear was her crying, which is really nice. It's a really reassuring sound. But I kept saying she's hungry, she's crying because she's hungry, and I don't think they believe me because they don't instantly want to feed. But Brody instantly wanted to feed, Ethan instantly wanted to feed, and I was right, she instantly wanted to feed. She took, I think, like an ounce or two, and that was our first feed. So that was like, she was definitely hungry. So Lee had Emily and took her into the recovery while I think I got finished, like obviously getting basically put back together, I'll say. And then I got took into recovery where we stayed for 4 hours, because Lee was allowed to stay for 4 hours after I had Emily before he had to leave. And then he wasn't allowed to come back until I was home. Like, he was allowed to come and meet me at the ward door to take me home. So after being took to recovery, they kept coming and doing the little spray can. I don't know if you might not know, but they spray it up your leg to see when you can start feeling the cold, to see how far like you're numb. They'll spray it like down and then up your legs to see where you're numb and where you're not. They kind of do that the whole time until you're fully unnumb. And they kept coming and spraying it up my side, and I couldn't feel any of it. And then so they kept checking and checking and checking, and I was in recovery for so much longer because I couldn't feel it. And they said that it's just because I'm so numb. They've given me so much stuff, so I'm guessing maybe with having the 2 lots of spinal blocks, so I was numb for longer than they would have liked, but eventually I started to be able to feel it. After they were happy with the spray and happy with my blood pressure and everything, I was took to the room that we were in originally when we first went in, which was a room on our own, where we were left to stay there for the 4 hours Lee was there. I thought that we stayed in the recovery, but now I remember back, we didn't. We went back to that room and we were in that room, and I was allowed some toast and a cup of tea if I wanted one. I think I got juice. Lee had some toast and some juice as well. And then, like I said, it was allowed to stay there for 4 hours, which was really good. I think that was all. Like, just obviously keep checking my blood pressure and everything like that. I am going to make a separate video which explains like the first 24 hours in hospital, so how she was feeding, how she was sleeping, if I had any complications, because there was a few little things. So I thought instead of adding them to this video, I made this video even longer, because me personally struggle to watch long YouTube videos because I don't get a minute to myself with having the 3 kids. So I like to keep my videos quite short so that people, even if they're mums and they're busy, they can still watch them if they wanted to. So I will make a separate video about the first 24 hours. I also have her 3 months check to make, which I will make as well. And a few other updates as well, which I'll get as well. Because I am behind, but I'm hoping to catch up. I know I say that so much, but 3 kids, homeschooling and just life itself, it can be quite hectic at times. So I apologise, but I will get them up when I get them up. So thank you so much for watching and supporting our channel and our family. If you have any questions or anything like that, please don't feel free to comment down below, or I have got an email address in the description that you can email me on. I'm happy for that. So thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.